Record. Okay, let me just do my live streaming and set it up so that we can just continue right now. Welcome, colleagues. Welcome, everybody. We welcome you to yet another exciting episode of the Global Quality Assurance Association free webinars. Yes, we can't charge everything. There are things which we need to do for free in order to make contributions to our countries, our higher education in the continent and the continent at large. I'm going to quickly share. Okay, thank you. You can alert those colleagues who can join us to also come on board. Is this the one? Let me check. Yes, it is. Can we all see my screen? Okay. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dr. Violet Makuku. I'm the director for the Global Quality Assurance Association, which is registered in Ghana with the Registrar General of Companies and also with the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection to do this work, which has got capacity building, assessments, monitoring and evaluation, consultancy, and many others, as well as the philanthropic side. Once again, allow me to acknowledge all of you and your presence, but I just want to make a special acknowledgement, like I've said, of the Vice Chancellor for Kesmont University, International University in Cameroon, Prof. Atanga. I don't know the other Vice Chancellors who are with us on board. I also want to acknowledge the presence of the Deputy Vice Chancellor for the Harare Institute of Technology. It's a university. They are well renowned for many, many patents annually. Intellectual property, they are practical, they are real. We can contact them for partnerships and many such things. So they are also based in Zimbabwe. That shows what I've been doing and what I can do and what we are doing also as an organization. Yesterday, we had such an exciting session with one of our members, Professor Opulu Beatrice from Nigeria. And this is the one which I'm saying already we checked, it has got more than 250 views. But for those who are joining us for the first time, I'll do a quick rundown about the Global Quality Assurance Association. Through hard work and education, definitely you will agree with me that we can deliver a strong economy and opportunity for all. This is according to Julia Gillard, and we share the same sentiments with Julia. We always believe that at the Global Quality Assurance Association, quality starts with you, quality starts with me. Quality is everybody's business, and quality should be in our hands. And this takes me just, even if I'm introducing the GQAA, that it's said, it's labeled as policing. And we want to really work hard to remove that label. Why is quality assurance in academic institutions and elsewhere labeled policing. It's quite worrisome. How is it done to end that label? What can we do to remove that label? Because I want to see a better label like yesterday. We need a better label for quality assurance, a friendly, loving label for quality assurance like yesterday. We know we have quality assurance officers, quality assurance directors and managers. We also have the quality assurance directorates, offices, units, and departments. But honestly, at the Global Quality Assurance Association, one of the things that we have established through research is that these people in there may work on their own, but they are just meant to coordinate, and we need to work together. They are supposed to get and actually solicit for feedback of the work that they are doing. When departmental, faculty, and directorate audits are being done, please make sure the quality assurance office, directorate, and so on is also audited, because that is the way through which we can also get feedback for them to serve you better, for them to do better. They cannot know it all. Right now, for example, if you have quality assurance directors who are not attending these sessions, whilst the other members of staff, whether they are academic or academic support staff, attending these sessions, it means those academic support staff and academic staff may know certain things which are not known by the directors. So let the message go to them that at this juncture and at any one point, they are just meant to coordinate, so that at least there's an independent office and personnel who are looking at quality assurance issues. That's our logo. But what's our vision? Our vision is to enable organizations attain high levels of efficiency and profitability through sustainable quality assurance systems in a bid to create a world where the quality culture thrives. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not demeaning our continent. In some quarters, whether it's offices, buildings, academic institutions, and so on, there are some where you see that without mentioning the word quality or quality assurance, things are okay. There's a level of cleanliness there. People don't come to work late. People don't fail to come to work at all. People are on time for meetings. People complete tasks on time because these tasks are being waited for elsewhere. And so the quality culture thrives. You find that there are institutions where, for example, I've done institutional assessments and evaluations for self-improvement. One of such institutions was the Redeemers University in Nigeria. Honestly, all students were there, large numbers of students and staff. The exercise was for 1 week, but from the day I came to the day I left, I never saw even a paper for a sweet anywhere on the school grounds. Nothing, nothing in the institution's grounds. The lawn is well kept, everything is well done. That is what we want for our continent. But the issue is when we go maybe to the developed world, why is it that place you are moving to, it seems like it's owned by one person who knows that there should be cleanliness, who knows that everything should be in order, who knows that there should not be broken toilets? We'll talk about that. What's our mission? Our mission is to ensure consistency, the quality of goods and services through knowledge and skills sharing. For example, this is our new baby. Because we were overwhelmed with questions and with the comments, we just decided to have this support and consultancy webinars, which started, this is the very second one, and they will be ongoing forever because it's our new initiative which connects us with quality assurance personnel, which connects us with everybody because quality assurance is everybody's business. Like I told you that we are registered with the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. It helps us to work with at the schools, primary schools, junior high schools and senior high schools. In terms of school renovations, we give stationery and everything to do with it, textbooks that we collect, and also sanitary pads to the girls. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how quality assurance is like in most institutions and organizations. What does this represent? And this was one of the most motivational factors which led us into creating and establishing the Global Quality Assurance Association. When at the, please, Mr. Can you take the phone and respond to people? When you look at this tree, you can see that under normal circumstances, the roots should be covered by soil. A part of the tree trunk should also be covered by the soil. But is that the case? Not necessarily, because in our academic institutions, we want in our companies and organizations and industries, we want total quality management. That is what we want. But is it what we are practicing? That is the million-dollar question. Because right now, when we go to some other places, you find that for some academic institutions, they are concentrating on external quality assurance. And I'll explain. External quality assurance is where we do accreditation and where we do the 5-year cycles of being checked on what we are doing. And we are doing this to satisfy the regulatory bodies and also the accreditation bodies. The regulatory bodies include also some professional bodies. If you are offering law, the Law Society of your country. If you are offering medicine, the Medical Council and the Nurses Council. We want to please them. But they are what we call external quality assurance. Internal quality assurance is what we do in the institutions. And for internal quality assurance, we have to build the quality culture in the institutions. And so look at all those gaps. What do the gaps tell you? They mean where we are supposed to have soil, but we don't have it. We want to bring back the soil. We want to cover the roots. What are the issues? Some of the quality assurance terms which are not used properly, which are used interchangeably, misdirect people. For example, quality assurance and quality control. There are some people who use them interchangeably, but they are not the same. They can never be the same. When we practice our quality assurance properly, we would never need quality control. Because with quality assurance, we are checking inputs, processes, and outputs. And we are doing it at very, very short intervals. which we call formative. We do formative assessment, formative monitoring and evaluation, which means every small thing that we are doing, we are trying to make sure we assess its suitability, we assess the direction, the pace, the result, the output, the outcomes, so that there's need to change the method, there's need to change the input, there's need to change a human resource, if there's need to change piece of equipment, then we do it. And when we look at quality control, it's waiting, it's summative, and it's waiting for the end product. And colleagues, you can see that this is quite a big difference. Huge. Because this one, the quality assurance is doing a stitch on time saves 9. And it's proactive. While quality control is reactive, it's also very wasteful as compared to quality assurance. There are many things we can talk about the differences, but in the interest of time, I will just say these few things. But you can now see that if you use them interchangeably, it's some injustice of some sort. Because you see, with quality assurance, they get to an extent of sticking out a medical drug today into the pharmacies. People buy it, people take it. And after some time, you see a huge newspaper article which is saying batch number 631639 of losartan BP drug is being recalled. Will the rural people know? It has gotten everywhere. It has already been distributed. A lot of damage will be done. Now we also look at, for example, we have production of cups. Some of them are deformed. So to control is to choose and remove the deformed cups and what have you, and put them aside. That's also wasteful. We need to build the quality culture and build it wholeheartedly. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the event where we are right now, and it will go all the time. We will be having it almost every Thursday, focusing on these areas and many more. And we have another new baby where we are working with the African Union. The African Union, 14th to 18th October 2024, held the Africa Skills Week. It was a maiden event held in Ghana. And this event, one of the things which came up was that African Union struggles with issues of dissemination. They've got very good documents. The Agenda 2063, the Africa We Want, the Continental Education Strategy for Africa, the TVET for Africa, STISA for Africa. All these are available. But if I ask you right now, you may put up your hand and say, Doc, I don't know what you are talking about. And after this webinar, we can also share with you some of these documents. So the Global Quality Assurance Association, we are partnering with the African Union in terms of not only dissemination, but pursuing some of the outcomes and agreed measures regarding Africa's skills. We are looking at a lot of our people, graduates and other older people who are just going to the developed world, to the Western world, thinking that this is where all their problems will be resolved. But a lot of them are perishing in the oceans. We also have yet another route, the hot and dry deserts. Most of them in these places, the deserts before crossing over. But even when they cross over, some of them are returned. So now we want to focus on real entrepreneurial skills in education, as well as job creation skills for socio-economic development in our continent. So we are going to have this next week. Join us on Thursday, December 12th. Again, our Vice Chancellor for Kesmos International University will be one of our speakers, together with a youth, Mr. Fazwa Jean Msidzarambra, who is also in Marondera University of Agricultural Sciences and Technology. She's an innovation specialist in Zimbabwe. We go along with those SDGs. Those are our social media handles. We are well branded and we continue to be proud of ourselves. Last week, these are the people whom we entertained. The first one near me is from a college of education. The lady is from Namibia, Council for Higher Education. Next in yellow gold is from Chalimbana University, the director for quality assurance. We just brought them together. And also the lady in white is again from the Namibia Council for Higher Education. Chalimbana is in Zambia. And then in Paul Violet is from Togo, Lome is a lecturer. We took them through a lot of activities and it was very good. Again, we have membership. Join us and you can be an individual member of the GQAA and you can write to us for more information. It can be a company or organization. The benefits, in the interest of time, I'm just going through the benefits and the slides. Then you can check them later on. But the key issue is quality assurance. This is what is guiding us. We need to plan what we want to do, and then we execute and check it's the monitoring and evaluation. But in most cases, institutions, after monitoring and evaluation, they sometimes don't bring the changes that are needed. And that is very sad because we want to see ourselves bringing the changes. Do we need to change personnel? Do we need to change the time that we are doing something? Do we need capacity building and training? What is it that we need to do? Do we need to do certain activities, build the quality culture, both in our academic and academic support, in our companies and organizations? We need to follow this cycle and follow it seriously so that we can move on. We have these short courses which we can do for individuals and also for organizations and companies and institutions. We do them. And I think this is Sokoine Invest of Agriculture Institutional. This is GIMPA. And this is the group that we had. We had a lot of practical sessions. And that's the unique part of us. We attend to small groups, we attend to individuals, and also we attend to institutions. This guy, we were doing the QR code. We covered AI in quality assurance. Do you want also to be taught how to do these things? Do you want to learn how to incorporate AI in quality assurance and also to do all these things? They were really excited and happy because these are some of the things which we need to incorporate so that we move together with the rest of the world. We have gotten a lot of awards, but we also give them. This is a principal from another college. These are other quality assurance personnel. Like I said, we're working with the African Union in many of different contexts, and we also work at global level. We win the awards as much as we give them out. So, ladies and gentlemen, we now want to concentrate on the business of the day. We are here to check on what are people struggling with and how can we help each other to make sure things happen. As I'm saying so, this is the Eswatini Council for Higher Education. We have helped to set it up, and this is the time when we were bringing them together with their staff. I'll stop sharing and open the floor for anybody who wants to say something. It could be a comment, it could be a question on operations, and in any area, as long as you are asking something about quality assurance. It could be in teaching and learning, it could be in research, it could be in any other field. It could be also about our support departments, because I see in those areas they are lagging behind. In academic institutions, student evaluation of the lecturer, appraisal of the lecturer, a review of the lecture. Now, because there's one instrument, you find that the students now will and comment about catering services, about accommodation on the lecture, about transport on the lecturer's evaluation. What does the lecturer has to do with all these things? And so you find in the end, they can score the lecturer low because they are angry about toilets which have not been repaired. And that's an injustice to the lecturer, because the lecturer depends on the student evaluation for promotion. What else can you think about which you think is not affected by quality assurance? Switching off lights, television sets in receptions where there's nobody, fans and air conditioners, and these repairs I'm talking about, the reporting. Are we reporting leaking toilets? Are we reporting leaking washrooms? So we know these are urgent matters. Where if I take a 1 liter bottle, in 1 minute, it's full. The water that is coming from the toilet tank, the toilet chamber, going down the drain, clean water, treated water. And the water bill for the institution is very high. And our responsive rate to make sure that the repairs are done on time, it's very slow. The reporting system is a quality assurance matter. What do we have in place so that we have maybe a central stores where quickly a tap, where quickly a floater can be obtained and fixed? These things can go for 2 weeks, for 3 months. And you are asking yourself, honestly, repairing one toilet, can it take that long? Where is the quality assurance gap? Is it reporting? Because they're going to use these toilets every minute, every hour, and they know it's written out of order. But inside there, you can hear that water is flowing out of order for 2 weeks with water being lost. We can drastically reduce these bills because they impact negatively on quality assurance, because on their own, they are also quality matters. Ladies and gentlemen, let's open the floor and let's hear your comments and your inputs, your suggestions and questions. Let me see if you can put up your hand or you can unmute yourself. Let me go to the unmute. Right. So now you can unmute yourselves. Thank you. Prof. Atanga, I can see you.
Good afternoon, Dr. Makuku.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Fisi.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues.
Thank
you very much for this very wonderful initiative that you have brought up to show up a lot of light to us African people on the importance of us being alert in the very little things that you've just mentioned, which I feel a little bit guilty because I have a tap that is running in my premises right away. So these comments of quality, I was only subjected to the quality of teaching and not the like. Now I've learned that even the tap that is being ignored is an issue, which I am very happy that the petty things that we do not look at are the most important things that we need to build a culture for the younger generation. And I want to thank you very much for this initiative. And I will recommend that our colleagues should share the links for others to join, because the matters we are talking here, the local government, the councils, not just higher education institutions, not just private businesses, but we must penetrate the local communities for people to grab these ideas, these powerful initiatives that will transform us from the most basic levels. Thank you very much. May God bless you, Dr. Makoko. Thank you, and good afternoon to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, VC Kesmons University. We are in Cameroon. We want to move from Cameroon to another country. Please, the floor is open. People like Sir Stanley Sakala, Dr. Dominita, Sir Zebron Chari, and a lot more. You have been with us. We want to hear from you, Sir Luis Joa from Mozambique. All of you. Dr. Mredzi, the DVC, share with us your experiences or anything. It will help everybody. Thank you. Madam Edna Kwame, and many of you who are on this call, whom I've not mentioned by name, the floor is open for all of us. Hello, do we have people on board? Hello. So now sometimes people just want to hear me talking, but this platform is mainly for us to maybe ask questions and make contributions for the benefit of everybody else. Okay, colleagues, if there's no end for now, I can move on and also cover the other aspects. One of the key issues, which is also of great importance, is the quality management system and the people who are in the quality management system and the people who should be running the quality management system. We need tools. We need policies. Some of the policies, when you check them, they are for the year 2000, some are for 1985, but they've never been reviewed. Policies are legal documents, but when I was still teaching in the university, I learned that there were people who were just brought together. We need a gender policy because things are not running well here. That aspect should be handled. I point 1, 2, 3. You are going to write for us the gender policy. But once we do that, we will always lose court cases. We will always lose court cases from students and staff. The recruitment policy, the retirement policy, all the assessment policy, all these policies are legal documents. When we do the drafts within the institutions, the companies and organizations, we can now take them for a legal eye. And it saves us a lot because the legal eye can see the existing gaps and it helps. The revision of the policies is something very, very important. For those who are in universities, I just want to give a simple example of maybe an assessment policy. Now, moving around with institutional assessment and evaluation, you find that the same institution or in the same faculty, you find in one faculty they are saying, we take the mark from the external examiner. That's what they say. The department in the same faculty, they are saying, we take the internal mark with the external examiner's mark, we add and divide by 2. And that's the mark we give the student. Ladies and gentlemen, it may sound small, it may sound trivial, but I've seen long meetings where now there's no policy which is spelling out this aspect. And people are fighting to say, so which one do we use and why? It shouldn't be like that. We need to already have everything in the policy. And then we are dealing with it. Once we have a disagreement or a misunderstanding, we just go to the policy and refer to it. One other issue is about the quality assurance personnel. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that when our quality assurance personnel come into office, a lot of them do not have the qualification. A lot of them do not have the experience. A lot of them have never attended a course in quality assurance. And so sometimes they write to us to say, I don't know where to start from. I was just appointed. And this is where we lose out. They are meant to direct the whole institution in terms of quality matters. They are meant to do initiatives like building the quality culture. Their footprints should be traced from a student to the vice chancellor, from one staff, academic, non-academic, or from the company or organization. Their footprints should be traced to departments, to faculties, to units. But is this the case? We don't want a case where we come into your institution and we ask, leaders, can you lead us to the office of the quality assurance director? I say, yeah, no, we don't have such a person here. Or you don't know the office, we don't even have such an office. It means those quality assurance directors, officers, and personnel are not doing much. Remember the tree that I showed you initially. They are just concentrating on accreditation of programs where they don't even sometimes understand the Bloom's taxonomy and how it should be properly be used, where it came from. It's what is more important, so that they see to it that there's not too much back and forth with the accreditation bodies. And these are the kind of capacity building workshops which we do have. Let's look at another scenario. Our leaders of institutions too. This came in the just ended Southern Africa Quality Assurance Network 6th conference. We had lots of vice chancellors there. They said, we don't know much about quality assurance depth and breadth. And we want the education and awareness that we know how best to support our people. We know how important it is. So we are available to organize with you one workshop, one course with vice chancellors. I'm thinking that we should then have an online course for the top leadership, registrars, deans, directors on quality assurance, that they don't undermine it, that they see the importance of it and support. Those quality assurance directors, they need training, because we are saying that we won't support them because we don't see what they are doing. They are also saying we don't know what to do, and so we can't do much. Do you see the back and forth? At the end of the day, we really need to work on this challenge. Madam Esther, do you want to say something? Hello? Okay. So I can move on. So now, yeah, she's now muted. So those are the kind of issues. A quality management system. What are we talking about? What is a quality management system and what is it made of? Those are the fundamentals. We have organograms, and if they are not well set, then again it jeopardizes everything. We need to have a quality assurance committee, which is at institutional level, at company and organizational level. But now, we ask $1 million question. Who should be in there? We don't want a replica of Senate for the quality assurance institutional committee. We don't want a replica of the academic board. And so we should have just a few deans and directors who are representing all deans and directors. We want the drivers to be represented, the plumbers to be represented in there, the groundsmen, the caterers, the lab technicians to be represented. We also want the administrators to be represented. Everybody should be represented. When we do institutional quality assurance, we considering the top leadership, maybe it's 4 days, 5 days. First day is top leadership. And we are very much practical oriented. We are talking about real life situations which can transform the institutions, which can continue to make our institutions better. We leave the leadership and get the issues that they normally struggle with the lower level staff. We go on to the middle level. We deal with them and their issues. We go down to the junior staff, the driver. If you think the driver does not need training in quality assurance, the groundsmen, the cleaners, then we are mistaken. This is where I'm telling you that we need to practice total quality management. They also need quality assurance workshops so that they handle the vehicles properly. Imagine you have purchased a piece of equipment, maybe from the United States or from one European country. It is shipped. When it arrives, it's endorsed that it's intact. But from the airport to the institution or industry, from the harbor, from the courier to the workplace, it breaks because the driver doesn't care about potholes, because the vehicle is not his or hers, because the industry or institution is the one which pays. Then that is it. I was the first director for quality assurance in the institution where I was a lecturer for about 12 years. One of the things that I did, I said, for you to see that quality assurance is important, I just said, let's demonstrate with one vehicle. We inserted a tracking system. So this guy was meant to take students towards the north, and then now the tracking system, we are in the office, it's showing us he's going west and a few kilometers. I asked him, so where are you now going? He said, Doc, no, we are still on our way to this. I said, but no, now you are at this place. How does Dr. Makuku know that I've diverted, that I've taken another route? And later on, I was going to come back to do a bit of personal business, adding more kilometers, mileage, and more fuel, definitely. And I know in the institutions, one of the most difficult things they struggle with is how to monitor the movement of fuel. How much fuel is used? For what? By who? And when? It's true. Besides being a former quality assurance director, I do institutional assessments and evaluation for self-improvement. All these challenges, they are there. But at the end of the day, quality assurance, the solutions are there. You can check the wastage gaps. Honestly, you will appreciate quality assurance for one or two major things: the savings, the proactiveness to prevent major damage, extensive damage, because of quick detection as the problem is starting, for having tools and instruments that can be put in place to regulate behaviors. So we can talk of quality assurance as per people's understanding. And you will see that some people believe that I did it in one of this year, mid-September, when I was a keynote speaker and also lead facilitator for more than 56 universities in South Africa. We also had the Southern Africa Qualifications Authority. We had the Southern Africa Council for Higher Education. What came out? I asked a simple question. For you, which is bigger, program accreditation and quality assurance? 80% said it's program accreditation. We don't blame them because the depth and breadth of quality assurance, they don't know. Times the librarians are just brought in to say, please, we want this from the library because this program needs to be submitted for accreditation. But what are the key issues? So very quickly, please write in the chat panel. The mother is quality assurance. Under quality assurance, please, just to see, what do you think is under quality assurance? There are more than 10 things. You can write in the chat panel, just in 2 minutes or so. Please, I'm waiting for responses. Welcome, Dr. Pumuzani of University of East. Or some thoughts from Elizabeth Amadi. Thank you, Madam. Basi Agbo from Nigeria. Thank you. Nigeria is also represented. Linda Manu from Ghana, CEO of Linest Consult. Thank you. Prof. Mredzi, our DV, she is also here. Thank you. So let's write in the chat panel. If I say quality assurance is the mother and accreditation is not the mother, what are other things? So one of the children of quality assurance is accreditation. What else? Please, let's write in the chat panel. I'm waiting to see. Let's write. Or you can put up your hand. Hello? What do you think makes up? Thank you, Mustafa. Quality assurance is the umbrella of our best working. Okay, thank you. Please, let's write in the chat panel. Otherwise, we are also closing so that people can also do some homework. Okay, Dr. Oshula Joseph from Kaimosi Friends University in Kenya, ensuring standards are maintained. Thank you. Next, I'm waiting for the chat panel. Let's be active in the chat panel. This is meant to be an open session for us all. We have only 2 responses. Thank you, Ndabanye Matema. This is Gwanda State University. Quality control. Yes, because at the end of the day, maybe when you are testing, it can be. Enforcement. Thank you again. Osunkunle, with quality assurance guarantees global best practices. Yes. Abdallah Ibrahim, curriculum development and improvement. Yes. What else? Right. Yes, Doc, unmute yourself. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, Doc. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, what I wanted to observe is that why quality assurance directors are not able to conform to the policy and ensure the policies are equivocal with the running and activities of the institutions. Basically is because they are appointees of the authorities of the institution. And now, if the authority of the institution doesn't have the goodwill of coming up with the policy or even replenishing the policies timely, then they will just go on working with the dead policies that are there, which were created in 1985, like you put it. And because they are under this CEO, they cannot raise a hand and say, no, we want to have this policy changed. We want to have new policies. We want things to be done like this. They're just working for the appointing authority. And that is where we fail. Maybe there could be some regulation indicating that the quality assurance directors should be hired on contract. And the contracts are renewed on the basis of their performance. Then they may want to really do the right thing because their job will be at risk. But if it is an appointment, if you put up a hand and say, now this policy is 10, we want to change, we want to do things like this, then somebody else will be appointed, somebody who is singing the song of the appointing authority. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 2 issues. I'm very grateful for your input. Those authorities, it's what I've said initially, because in quality assurance, we also want to look at the root cause. So if these authorities knew the depth of and breadth of quality assurance, that it ends up with huge savings, it ends up with efficiency and effectiveness, honestly, they would do better. That's why I said there's a need to train institutional leaders in quality assurance so that once they understand it, they know. And then about the contracts, that is what happens in most institutions. Because even for me, the first appointment, in fact, you come in my country, most of the institutions, if they practice that, first year, you are even appointed, but you are on probation. And then they then confirm you for 4 years or 5 years. After which, if you perform well, they can retain you. But if you don't perform like you say, it's unfortunate for the institutions which appoint a quality assurance director or officer for eternity. Then they need to make sure they are trained. They need to make sure they are doing well. Thank you for that input. Then please, I like the spirit now. We are on board. We are cruising. Because in the chat panel, I see Dr. Dominita is saying management system and training. Thank you, Dr. Dominita. Those are also parts of quality assurance. We need to have a quality management system. We also need capacity building for the institution, for the industry, for the company, also for the leaders and everybody, even for students. The students are also doing a lot of wrong things that compromise quality assurance. So the moment we leave them out, we are also having wastages, breakages, irregularities that are brought academic dishonesty, which sometimes bring the name of the institution to disrepute. Quality assurance can sort out those things. For due diligence exercises, yes, quality assurance ensures that quality graduates are produced from universities. That is it. Quality assurance plays a very important role in determining, that is the Basi Agbo, is the one who said for quality graduates, Dr. Dominita, most quality assurance offices are mostly for loyalty and not truth. We are going to talk about what compromises quality, and then say Festus is, or Festus, I don't know whether it's male or female. Quality assurance plays a very important role in determining whether a product meets the required quality standard. That is true. Before I came to the DVC, Dr. Mredzi's input, I want to add more. So you see, we have risk management, disaster management. When people are talking about these things, they don't know, they are talking to them as they are foreign to quality assurance, yet they are components of quality assurance. Compliance, rewards, and punishments. It's not always about giving monetary rewards. It's not always about giving material things as rewards. It can be a commendation letter, which can be used by somebody to get promotion. It can be a certificate, a paper certificate, but it means a lot because somebody did not get it. Be a standing ovation and mention of somebody who has done well. This will help us to amplify certain behaviors, promote certain behaviors, and with punishments, with what certain behaviors, to the extent that for me, I even advocate for taking out some money from somebody's salary because for 2 weeks they lied that the vice chancellor sent them to do some tasks, and so that's why they were not attending or coming for lectures, and yet they are doing their personal business. The VC never sent them to do anything. So they are short-changing students. Somebody pretend that they are sick when they are not, for the companies, for the industries. Something which is not very good. What else do we have? We have a lot under it. So just for the sake of time, I want to jump onto what the DVC, Dr. Mredzi from the Harare Institute of Technology is telling us. He is saying that as much as African universities complain about global rankings, African institutions should note that without top-notch quality assurance directorates, we will lag behind. Quality assurance directorates are thus critical university assets. They are also critical assets to companies and industries. They are also critical assets to government and the society and communities, which has also been aided by Prof. Atang. Ladies and gentlemen, if you take quality assurance lightly, that's how you are failing also. But if you embrace it just for a short while, get institutional capacity building for your personnel, for the leadership, and for the students. If you don't tell me the impact in less than 3 months, something is wrong. Something is wrong. And in order for us to take part in these global rankings, by the way, I was appointed by the Times Higher Education, Sub-Saharan Africa, to be one of the board members. And so we can talk maybe in the next episode. Thank you, Dr. Mredzi, for bringing this subject. I think we should deal with it in the next encounter. We need to do a lot of things. We don't need to be ivory towers. We need to work with communities because there's a quality assurance score for community engagement. Yes. And these are some of the things which we may undermine, but bit by bit, they transform the continent. Look at the other initiative I've talked to you about, where we are saying we have a drive now to push the agenda of job creation skills, to push the agenda of making sure that the graduates work to see the opportunities that they are missing now. There are a lot of them. You see, these people who are coming, Prof. Atanga, he will tell you what he's doing with this university. Even Dr. Mredzi will tell you how the university is driving research, relevant research, with lots of intellectual property. These are the things we want to share with the world, that we change the mindset. We want to change the mindset of our graduates. I don't want this thing which is coming, employability skills. It's again eroding our efforts to push the agenda of not all graduates to see themselves as getting employed, but we want them to see themselves as now coming to start something small. And we want to push the message that it's not that you need money to always start something. Here in Ghana, the rain season, it's more than 6 months. And you can start with sweet potatoes. You are selling them. You can start with washing people in estates. Yes. And you use their water, you use their soap, you use their ground, you use their hose pipe. When you are done, you ask for money for washing their car. Next time, if you do it for a whole estate, you now have some. You are coming with sweets and balloons so that as you are washing their vehicle, you are saying, but I've got balloons for your children. The children cry. Now they have to sell, they have to buy the balloons from you for the child to stop crying. Next time, you are also coming with wipers and what have you for the cars which you are washing. They buy. So it's not that I want to make things very simple, but they are doable. It can be done. To start a business with nothing. And this is what we are going to be talking about there. Celibat Machona, welcome. Celibat must be from Africa University. Right, Celibat? Is he on board? Celibat Machona, he must be from Zimbabwe and Africa University, if I'm correct. He is also making an excellent submission for African universities to improve their global standing. A commitment to quality assurance is indeed essential, as indicated by Dr. Mredzi. This involves not just the establishment of directorates, but also fostering a culture of excellence that permeates all aspects of academic life. We take it even to our homes. Yes, because we are not the ones paying the bills in the institution. It doesn't mean to say that we should be careless and be wasteful. This involves not just the establishment of the directorates, but also fostering a culture of excellence that permeates all aspects of academic life. By prioritizing quality, institutions can enhance their reputation, attract international partnerships, and ultimately provide better education for their students. I want to add that you can even get a lot of international students. We need to aim towards bringing international students to our institutions because they bring forex. They bring forex. They pay in foreign currency, which is needed. By so doing, besides having our institution known, we are now also getting a lot of visibility for the right reasons. We are also getting known globally for the right reasons. Who doesn't want that? Ladies and gentlemen, honestly, we need to take quality assurance seriously. And it leads me to just share, let me check here. Right, very, very quickly, before we wind off, I want to share with you the short courses that we have right now. I can tell you from Kenya, Nigeria, Mozambique, what we have even now ended up accepting individual. We ended up accepting individual one-on-one online courses because people say, I've just been appointed, but I want this like yesterday. So as soon as a person pays, we are just on them. And even when we start doing with them, we tell them, go now and do your quality management system using what we have come with. Sorry, I'm just going to the workshops themselves. I don't know why I'm this far. Okay, just let me stop sharing and show and bring the slides which I want to show you. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, they are here. So I had indicated this one, which is on, I wanted to make it big, very good. On quality assurance in higher education, it can be taken by vice chancellors, deans, directors, DVCs, registrars, and any other people at personal level, at individual level. Then if maybe you say now they are going to advertise for this post, and I also want to compete, we can prepare you for the interviews. Artificial intelligence, I've shown you that we have been doing it now to see how I can make quality assurance easier and better, can have better turnaround times of issues to do with quality assurance, because the center of quality assurance is research. We also do the writing of grant-winning research and project proposals. You can get hold of us and we help you. Many people talk to us about good results. Careers in the institutions who don't know how to supervise effectively and mark master's dissertations and PhD theses. Sometimes it's also about even undergraduate projects. But because we know sometimes they have been taken by an incompetent lecturer, we need to take the realities of life. You were unfortunate to be taught by somebody who themselves were badly taught or wrongly taught research methods, and so it doesn't come. At the center of quality assurance is research. It's also resources and resource mobilization. These excuses have been running on for too long for saying we don't have resources, so we can't implement this. Assurance is expensive, this and that. Sometimes I don't buy it. I don't buy that. Although people may say, Doc, you are not being realistic, you are not being practical. I am. I am. Because if we have a resource mobilization capacity building, we now, even as we are doing it, finding a strategy and putting together what it takes to do the mobilization of resources. You will tell me in less than a month that, Doc, you were right. You were right, it can be done. The things are to do with our mindset. Our current mindset, the way we are currently doing things, and our attitude. Those three things are makes and breaks of whatever we do. And we need to make sure we can take care of things better. Research methods, academic writing skills, and writing of master's and PhD proposals, we can do, and so many more. Colleagues, let me check in the chat panel to see, okay, the contact details have been put in the chat panel by Miss Munodawafa. Celibat, you are from Africa University. Yes, I think he's from Africa University, he's back. So now what we want to do is you can write anything else, the contact details, you can extract them from the chat panel to us about what you struggle with, and we can channel each other to what can help us. We can have our group photo. I can see a lot more people. Edgar Nyanga must be from Zambia. A lot more people have joined us. Quickly, can we write in the chat panel the country and institution where we are coming from? Very quickly, while you open up your cameras so that I can also take some photos of the people. If you don't want to open your camera, it's still okay. We will just have our snapshots the way we normally have them. Some people may want certificates, but remember, we don't give certificates like they are not of value. We can't give certificates to people who haven't attended an event. It's unethical. And so once people start requesting for certificates, we know you have attended. Put on your camera if you want to come out. If you don't want, it's still okay. We just take the photos or for the screenshots, and then it will be fine. Just in the chat panel, colleagues, please, let's write the name of our institutions as we wind off so that we can now close, and we are going to meet again in another same segment next time. But next week, same time, we are having the skills. What can we do? How can we make sure that these graduates are not perishing going overseas. What are the prevailing opportunities here in the African continent? It's there. And the number one of them is in agriculture. It's in agriculture. And I've given you a simple example of power washing. It's something that, but also the mentality of the graduates is that I don't do these things because I'm a graduate, because I'm so and so. But what you need is food on the table. What you need is a salary. So why do you label these jobs not for doctors, not for what? I think a lot of people who are following me, I do my garden and I enjoy it. What's wrong with that? So I used to have my auntie who normally said, dirty and money are friends. Honestly, if you go to our markets where we all flock to buy our vegetables, our what, those places are not very clean because there's a lot of junk, but those are the small scale which are bringing thousands of dollars and running the national economies, the medium to small scale industries. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to call it a day for now. Join us for this one. Let me even show it. The link will be shared next week. Please don't miss it. We are looking at which skills are important, which skills are we supposed to inculcate? How can we revamp our curricula so that it can help us to make sure everything that is needed for people not to flock elsewhere do happen. Please forgive me. I just want to quickly share that flyer. It's now here. This one, don't miss this event. We are mixing institutional leaders. We are taking industry. We are taking the youth to make sure together we can make up what can be done, what is practically possible for the whole continent, so that we cease to be known as a begging continent and we start changing the narrative of our graduates. We also review our curricula and we go to practical oriented things. And at one time, we are going to rope in again Dr. Mredzi, because his university is doing a lot of practical things. They do water bottling, they do, and they are selling these things as an institution. So it takes them far. And I know I may not know about your institution, but during that event next week, Thursday, you are also going to tell us. I went to other institutions where they've laundry, they've bread making bakeries. There's these things. And the students are hands-on. Where I went to Cape Peninsula University in Cape Town, South Africa, their students are the ones who do internship in the university hotel, in the university restaurant. They are doing it. Let's make a date with us next week, Thursday, so that you can profitably contribute to your institutions and make things happen. I thank you very much. Madam Chewe, since we had your boy, it's the first time I'm seeing you on board from Zambia. Bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen. Seeing you next week, Thursday, same time. We will share the link with you. Bye-bye. Dr. Onshula, Madam Rhoda, Dr. Dominita Celibat, Prof. Atanga, Esther, Dr. Mredzi, Madam Beauty Chewese, Wellington Tawia, Mustafa Zebron, Banda,
Bye. Nigeria.
Nicholas, bye-bye. Osunkunle, Nigeria.
Bye.
Esnat,
Zambia.
Zambia, Richard,
Bye
Awini,
bye.
Tefo Piri.
Bye
We also
bye.
have Botswana. I know say Tefo. Bye-bye. Say Louis Mozambique. Say Edgar Nyanga. It must be Zambia. Bye-bye. Say Zebron.
Okay.
Whom did I not call their name? Salam Mujib. It must be Miss Tariro. Munodawafa. Oscar Mwale. Mwale is Zambia. It's not Banda. It must be Zimbabwe. And Joseph James, I don't know. Joseph James, where are you from?
From South Sudan.
Papa, please, next time you share the link with many people.
All right.
We want a lot of people to also attend. Very good. Bye-bye,
No
colleagues.
problem.
Say Jonathan Simbeye. Bye-bye. It has been good. Prof.
Bye-bye.
Nicholas, I think I called your name. Everybody, I've called your name. It's a very good evening
Thank
to
you.
us all. Till we meet again. Bye-bye.